Hello to all of our wonderful parents and welcome to another episode of Grounded with Shannon. Today we are talking about an amazing topic, and it really is all about how do we get our children to concentrate during studying and exam period. I know that all parents have absolutely seen when their children get distracted, tests obviously get delayed, study time gets delayed, and all you want to do is get your children to actually focus. There's a reason why children really struggle to sometimes focus on their work, and it's got to do a lot with neuroscience. So we want our children to engage their prefrontal cortex, which then helps them actually think about the work that they need to do. And what we're seeing a lot of is that with stress, with a lot of pressure, comes a difficulty to try and engage that prefrontal cortex, which means that obviously the part of the brain that is highlighted is the amygdala. The amygdala is really that watchdog area of the brain where it's fight or flight. And as a result, when children get overwhelmed with work and pressures, that prefrontal cortex part of the brain shuts down and they get overwhelmed with stress and anxiety. What we need to do as parents is firstly really help that nervous system calm down. So it takes a lot of regulation. And the only way that our kids can do that is through co-regulating with them. So one of the first things we need to do is really focus on that nervous system. And when we say focus on the nervous system, look into the cues, whether your child is dysregulated. You'll be able to tell. And again, it's distraction. It's trying to avoid sitting down to study. It's getting up after 5 minutes, looking for a possible study break, moving around. As soon as our children start displaying elements of dysregulation, that's really when we need to step in and help them co-regulate. So one of the best ways to do this is actually to create a predictable study routine and a predictable environment where they sit and study, and make sure that the space is very calming and soothing. But talk to them about it regularly. Say to them, in 5 minutes, we're going to go to the place where we want to go and study. I've put a nice blankie there for you. There's a wonderful, comfortable chair. Make the environment as predictable as possible. A really good idea is also to have a sand timer sometimes, where you can turn the sand timer and you can say to them, in 5 minutes, we're going to get through this section. Then we're going to stop and take a breather, and then we're going to carry on studying. Obviously, it's age dependent. For slightly older children, they can focus for a slightly longer period. But for young children, you should really look at 15 to 20 minutes, then take a break and get them to do some jumping jacks, get them to move, get them to do some breathing exercises, and then obviously carry on from there. Predictable environment is absolutely key because predictability soothes our nervous system and soothes that sense of anxiety. The other thing you can do is use micro goals. So once we get through 45 minutes of studying, then we're going to go outside and we're going to jump on the trampoline together. Once we get through this entire series of you studying for geography, we're going to go for an ice cream. So obviously we all love a little bit of dopamine in our lives. And what we want to try and do is encourage release of dopamine. So give your kids something to look forward to, but knowing that they've got to be committed to the task at hand to get through that first and then to receive the reward. Another thing to actually focus on is also what you are putting into your child's system from the inside out. And what I find is really feeding your children with nourishment and supplements to actually help boost their brain power, boost their cognitive abilities really, really helps. What I'm absolutely loving at the moment is the brain battery gummies from Sante. They have all absolutely natural ingredients and they 100% support memory and concentration, which is what our kids need at the time of studying and exams. Obviously, there's sustained energy for endurance and it really promotes calmness. And I think one of the ingredients that I absolutely love is the saffron, because saffron really supports boosting our memory. It's also got ashwagandha in it, and we all know about ashwagandha. It's completely natural for kids to take, and we know that it's beautiful for our nervous system. So it really helps regulate that nervous system. There's vitamin B12. Again, it boosts that energy and endurance and without the sugar component. And I think the benefit of this is that children love the taste of these. So this is a must to add to the study routine. And again, put this on the desk in that predictable environment. When they sit down to study, pop one in their mouths, they can start chewing on it. Another thing that's really important is when children actually chew, it releases neurotransmitters in their brains that help them to concentrate, help them to soothe their nervous system and to focus. So use a few of these tips in the next study routine, in the next study ritual, and focus on, most importantly, predictability, helping your child co-regulate, and then again, what are we putting into our child's system from the inside out? I'll see you next time on the next episode, and good luck.